We also know who recovers landed or crashed UAPs under what authorities. We know the management structure and the security control systems and ownership of the program. We know a still highly classified memo by the Secretary of the Air Force in the 50s is still in effect to maintain the cover. We also know who the Air Force Gatekeeper is, and he names him.
The Gatekeeper is the individual who manages access to the program.
And I know someone who spoke to the Air Force Gatekeeper, and the Air Force Gatekeeper purportedly sort of neither confirmed nor denied.
U.S. Air Force Master Sergeant Jason Sands has secretly testified to the Senate and House Intelligence Committees. This is his first time going on camera to discuss the unclassified portion of those meetings.
Could you and a handful of others prove to our government, our elected officials, that we are in possession of off-world vehicles?
Yes.
Master Sergeant Sands is willing to publicly testify under oath to Congress that he can produce the classified details needed to verify the following claims, provided he's given immunity.
I'm a retired Air Force Master Sergeant. Part of my career in the 1990s, I worked 3 years at Air and the programs, which included numerous sites around the United States. And I was one of the Red Team members that would go out and do telecommunications assessments to check for intelligence leaks and counter-intel type issues at those locations that were involved in the legacy program.
The term legacy program means endeavors to collect, exploit, or reverse engineer technologies of unknown origin, or examine biological evidence of living or deceased non-human intelligence.
So you have the names of the programs?
I gave it all to them.
You have the names of the people involved with the programs?
Yes.
This definition appears verbatim in the UAP Disclosure Act authorized by Senators Schumer, Rounds, Rubio, and Gillibrand that passed the Senate in 2023.
Why now?
I feel like it is the time where I've seen the interest in the Congress. I've seen the interest with the UFO programs.
Unidentified aerial phenomena have been reported.
And including Aero, the talk of that standing up and everything. Kind of think in my head, is this the time to do this? Because I'd seen so many times that it failed.
Tracking what we now call
decade after decade of, somebody trying to come forward, pointing fingers at Congress, pointing fingers at pointing fingers at whoever else, and it just was very adversarial. If I felt comfortable enough without getting shot to go walk on air and show them exactly what I told them in the interview, I would go out there and I would drive them right up to the gate. As long as I knew they had the authority to walk into that facility with me. This is the hangar I told you about. There's the radar over there. There's the weather station I was taking over. Here's where me and the commander went around the whole base. I could show them all of those kinds of things, and that's where we're kind of headed with all this. I get the fact that the technology, if you could separate that out and call that national security, that the technologies they're working on, that has some reason to stay classified. But the revelation that there's other life out there, that should be something for everybody. That's the way I feel.
Two congressional committee staffers have confirmed the credentials of this witness to the filmmakers. He is who he says he is. He was stationed where he said he was, and he's confirmed actual names of classified programs.
There's so much concern that there's something locked up, classified, and that the American government is not being open. Well, we are the American government, and we are open, and we're going to be open about this.
Do you believe what Mr. David Grush said, or is he lying?
Whatever he said, where's the evidence? Is my response.
I can give you a specific cooperative and hostile witness list.
And we could get that in the skiff if we were allowed to get in a skiff with you. Would that be probably?
I can't discuss that publicly, but I did provide that information both to the intel committees and the Inspector General.
He also said he had another friend that said that he had parts of an alien.
Do we have the bodies of the pilots who piloted this craft?
As I've stated publicly already in my News Nation interview, biologics came with some of these recoveries, yeah.
Do you believe our government has made contact with intelligent extraterrestrials?
Something I can't discuss in public setting.
The following encounter took place at Nellis Test Range in Nevada in the winter of 1994.
Acquired this unknown object, aircraft type, 18 degrees, 18.6 degrees elevation.
U.S. Air Force Master Sergeant Jason Sands was stationed at the nearby Nellis Air Base with the 67th Intelligence Group at the time.
This previous week, the UFO came on the range, flew right by what we called the schoolhouse, because that's where we did the training, and it went down into the valley and continued on. So they have actual video of it, and that's what you see out there in the public, this Nellis Range UFO.
P1 control doesn't know what type of aircraft it is either. And no ACM, no tactics.
The system that they use also uses a type of radar to lock on to aircraft as they come into view. So this is what it recorded the UFO also.
Looks like one. Right up high now, going like straight up.
I don't know what it is.
The people that leaked the video out to the public also leaked the names of those individuals.
I don't know.
And they were talking, a lot of them were excited, some didn't know what it was. They were saying, some were saying it was a UFO for sure. Other people were like, no, it had to be some kind of messed up looking helicopter. Other people were like, I just don't know, I just don't know. But everybody was excited about it.
3 days later, Sergeant Sands was part of a convoy overseeing a training exercise. He was in the lead vehicle heading toward the center of Nellis Range near Quartz Mountain.
One of those days when the wind just cuts right through whatever you're wearing. It's me, there's another person in the passenger seat, and a young lady off to my right. About a mile down the road, there's this guy on my left, and he looks like he's wearing a uniform like ours. But I also notice his skin tone is very white to blue. And I'm thinking, oh crap, this guy is dying of hypothermia. And he's running funny too. It's like every step he takes, it looks like he's gonna fall over. Guy needs help, we need to stop. As we get closer, I definitely get the idea that he must be suffering from hypothermia because he does have this bluish tint to his skin. I'm thinking, this guy needs medical help. I need to get my butt out of the car and, you know, before he falls down and starts to die. And I'm thinking...
In the distance, Sergeant Sands noticed a strange landed craft resembling a helicopter, but he was more focused on the individual in need of help.
And then as we slow down and we approach the part where he's, you know, just a few feet away, the guy in the passenger seat screams, "He's got no effing ears." At that point, there's my open door. I'm standing on one side of it, and the individual that was running towards us was on the other side. And I shut the door, and I look up, and he's got no ears. thinking, is he a mutant? I look at them, they're symmetric. They're just like ours. They got lobes, everything. It's just they're conformed to his head. They're not sticking out like we do. And then I notice his eyes. They're like twice as big. And I'm thinking, he's either not from around here, from another planet, kind of not around here, or this is some sort of a mutant. And he turns towards me, and I get that kind of a snake bite, kind of a fear in my gut, like, oh my gosh, you know, very scared. And then he starts talking to me, and he's speaking a language I don't know, but I'm understanding every word he says, and I don't know how that happened. So there's this telepathic sort of understanding I get from him, but he's speaking a different language.
How far away were you from him?
No more than about 3 feet. The eyes caught me at first for how dark they were, but it was more like, you know, looking at somebody that had just large eyes that were dark colored. Looking him right in the eyes, and then I'm starting to kind of once him over, and I can see his battle dress uniform. Usually if you go up range, you wear your really crappy stuff. And this guy had a pristine uniform on. I remember looking at his boots thinking, how on earth are they that shiny? And after running as far as he did just there, he should have had dust on them. And I'm thinking, how did they stay pristine like that? So it was a little bit off to me, but that didn't stop me for too long, because he was asking me stuff, and he was asking for some material. A material he called either trentilium, or something like that. And I didn't know what the name was. He mentioned it was to repair his craft. And the only material that I could come up with, I was like, is that titanium? He's like, no. And then he stepped off the roadway and went back to his craft.
As the individual walked back toward the craft, Sergeant Sands realized his military colleagues seemed entranced. They all watched as the pilot climbed back into the cockpit and the canopy closed. The vehicle rose silently.
He got into the cockpit, and then he kind of went up in chunks, like stair steps, above the roadway, and then he took off to the south. I got back in the car, everybody seemed to come back to normal, snap to, and we just went up and did our daily job.
Would you respond to anyone watching this that would say this guy's clearly
a nut job? Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say, number one, the Congress would never have talked to me if I was. I was verified probably a year before I even talked to Congress by the UAP task force. There are databases that people don't have access to that only Congress and people that are in special access programs have. That's where they discovered my name. That's where they saw where I was stationed also in my military records. That established at least who I said and where I had been and the programs I was access to. They can verify all of that.
The producers contacted DoD officials who were aware of the 1994 encounter, but would not verify it on or off the record. As extraordinary as this story seems, the subject is not new. The Air Force and other agencies, as well as governments around the world, have been documenting close encounters of the third kind. Reports of interactions with non-human intelligence since at least the 1940s.